So my last Skylanders video was actually all the way back in 2018, in which it was my first video. I had intended to make my channel partially Skylanders related, but I later dropped the idea completely and wanted to make Beyblade, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and also talking about like kid shows and stuff, because I'm really into that now. But at the beginning of January, I started to get back into Skylanders and decided to make a new Skylanders series where I talk about my favorite Skylanders. This is Skylanders Spotlight. Now, before I get into our first Skylander on Skylanders Spotlight, I'd like to thank the YouTuber Krusher. He was the one who gave me the idea for the series while I was watching a series called the Basically series, where he goes over Skylander that he likes and goes over the Skylanders moveset, including like it's two paths, it's regular moves, it's paths, it's Soul Gem move, and if it has a Wow Pow, then he'll go over the Wow Pow. I asked him if I can make a series similar to like the Basically series, and he said yes, as long as I make it different so I wouldn't just be copying him. So go subscribe to Krusher. His channel link will be in the description. Because he gave me permission to do the series, the first Skylander I'll be talking about, if it wasn't obvious by the title of this video, I'll be talking about his favorite Skylander, Krypt King. Let's get started. Okay, so first I will talk about Krypt King's backstory. So, Krypt King used to be like a wandering spirit of a former knight until he stumbled upon an Archean weapon vault and found like a powerful suit of armor. So I'm guessing like he used to be like an Archean soldier and then like he like became like a spirit and now he's like trying to like find a new suit of armor. When he put the armor on, he forgot to read the signs that said "Do not touch" and triggered an alert system that summoned a bunch of war machines. And no, they aren't the war machines from the Avengers. That's just what it says on Skylanders Wiki. He then used his like new sword that came equipped with like the armor to like defeat the machines, and later turned himself into the Skylanders, who didn't arrest him for some reason, but instead they made him a member of the trap team. You know, Skylanders is kind of has a flawed, has like a flawed jail system when you think about it. Okay, now I want to talk about Krypt King's voice actor, David Sobolov, or Sobolov? However you pronounce the last name. Fun fact about David Sobolov is that he's not only the voice for Krypt King, but also the voice for Bumbleblast from Skylanders Swap Force, and the Stonehead from the Know-It-All Island level from Trap Team. He is also the voice actor of Drax the Destroyer from Ultimate Spider-Man from the Guardians of the Galaxy episode. Yeah, I remember that episode. And he was also the voice actor for Shockwave from Transformers Prime, and that's kind of his biggest roles in voice acting television. He was also the voice of Blitzwing from the 2018 Bumblebee movie, and that's basically all for his interesting roles. All of his other voice acting careers, he was either in like the show for like he only voice acted for like one episode, or he just wasn't like a main character. Go look at my filmography, and like I'll probably look him up on like the his like filmography on his like Wikipedia page, and maybe like see if I missed any. Okay, now it's time for some fun facts about Krypt King. Originally, Krypt King was supposed to be the first undead giant for Skylanders Giants, which kind of explains why he is taller than like the other Tramasters. But he was later dropped for Eyebrow. He was also originally supposed to be named King Cut, but that was changed to Krypt King because the second half of his name, Cut, is also the second half of the Skylanders Shortcut, and it would be confusing if they had like similar names, and they're also both Trap Masters. I actually really like Shortcut. I might do like a Skylander spotlight for him sometime. Krypt King was also supposed to look like a larger version of Chop Chop, and there are also fan theories going around that Krypt King is actually Chop Chop's father, which kind of makes sense because they're both like Archean warriors, but I don't really believe in them much. Okay, now it's time to go over Krypt King's moveset. His first move is his Traptanium Broadsword, where he swings his sword at enemies. Very self-explanatory right there. He just hits enemies with his swords. Really basic. It's a basic sword attack. The next attack is the Swarm ability, where he releases insects from his helmet that lock onto enemies, kind of like a target lock on. Kind of a weird ability, to be honest. Now for like the basic upgrades, basic upgrades. Starting with the Haunted Sword ability, where Krypt King like controls his sword with his hands. Yet another weird ability, but I like the movement that like Krypt King like does with like his arms while he's controlling his sword. He's doing like ventriloquism. If you don't know what ventriloquism is, like where like you move like puppets around. That's what it's called. The next is Spectral Slowdown, which makes this Haunted Sword ability slow down all enemies when like I guess they're hit or whatever. Then there's the broadsword move, which makes the broadsword attack stronger, and the super swarm, which makes the swarm ability larger. Okay, now on to the paths. The first path is called Lord of the Sword, which is the path that makes Krypt King's sword attacks stronger. If it wasn't already obvious by like the title of the path. The first path move is Enchanted Armor that increases his armor after defeating an enemy. So like the more enemies like you defeat, like the stronger you become. That's actually really good if you want like higher like defense in battles. The next is The Richer Get Rich, which sounds like something from like a kind of sounds something like from like a blank check movie. It increases attack power after you defeat an enemy. That's actually really good. That's really good too. Like increases like attack power. So like the more enemies in defeat, the stronger you get. So like very two good moves already. Last for the sword path is the combo attacks, which if you press buttons on your gaming controller in a specific order, Krypt King will do 2 new attacks with his sword, which is known as a combo attack. The second path is Swarm Summoner, which is the path that makes the swarm ability stronger. The first path move is Stunning Sting, which makes the swarm enemies sting enemies. Now, I guess I don't know. I guess it's good if you want to finish them off with a sword attack, but still. Next is Stir Up the Swarm, where you can hit the swarm of Krypt King's sword to like power it up. I actually think that's a really cool move. Like you just send out like a bunch of bugs and then like you just like batter up and then just like you launches them with the sword. That's actually really awesome. I love that attack. And I actually think that's like a really cool. It's like another combo attack. Lastly is Parasitic Power, which has the swarm to heal you after attacking enemies with it. Again, I like this move too. And like if you're in like a little like pinch during battle, like you have like 100 HP left, you can just like send out swarm, and then later after you like defeat some enemies, it'll like heal you. That's awesome. These paths both have really great moves, but I personally like the sword path, and I definitely recommend you choose that path. Okay, last is a soul gem because everywhere from like from SWAT Force I think to onwards they don't have WoW paths. So the soul gem, which can be found in Monster Marsh, is called Storm Swords, where swords just like rain down the enemies. Like that's actually just super incredible, just to have like the weapons like drop down on your enemies. Like you just like look up and he's like, And it's like, okay, so the forecast for today is going to be like it's going to be sunny, and like in the next 3 hours it'll probably be like raining swords or whatever, like ice shards or whatever. But not to be worried, because you just have the same side. Like everyone is during quarantine. Like just imagine having like that superpower, like when you like accidentally like throw your sword and like and misses, and like and the villain goes like, ha, you suck, and he goes like, and then like the swords just start raining down on him. That's really awesome. To wrap up the spotlight on Krypt King, I want to say that Krypt King is an amazing Skylander. I like his design, I like his moveset, and I like his backstory. Sadly, he is my favorite Trimaster, but he's very close. He's like my second favorite Trimaster, as my favorite Trimaster goes to Enigma. There will also be a Skylander spotlight for Enigma sometime this year. I promise. Also, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so I can get to 1,000 subscribers. Also, be sure to share this video with your friends. Also, check out my post on Straw Poll. The link is in the description. And also go subscribe to Krusher. His channel link is also in the description. I will see you guys next time. How's this not longer than like the forever video?